Hey guys, 2-Ton Streamer here, and welcome to my guide on a newer game I have recently decided to check out, and it's called Gloria Victis, which from a Google Translate says it means glory for defeated, or maybe it's backwards and means defeat for glory. Not really sure, but regardless, this game's caught my eye, and now I want to give it a spin and also share what I have found so far, both from playing and a little bit of research in the forums and on Reddit that I have done so far, just to give you a sort of all-in-one place to find some basic answers for people that are just starting out. As I progress and hopefully do better, I plan on sharing more info about crafting and also maybe about PvP. I have thrown together a quick list of about 10 things or so to get anyone up and started. First off, for anyone who doesn't really know what this game is or what it's about, I suggest you go check out the trailer, which I'm showing some footage of right here. This is a PvP game set in medieval times. There's also a pretty nice crafting portion of the game where you can craft everything you need, such as your armor and weapons, and also food and beverages, such as beer. There will later be base building where you and your teammates can construct castles and even entire towns, but that's not quite in the game yet as of yet. There's also some PvE elements which seem to be trickling in, and there's some minor quest givers. I actually found one when I was wandering around my little starter town. I've also heard that there are some match-based PvP tournaments that come up a couple of times a day, and there is a little timer up in the right-hand corner there. And it'll let you know when the next match is, and from what I can tell, anyone of any level can join, although the lower your level, the less significant you'll probably be, but I've heard that ranged in that case, to stay back and just shoot, will net you some kind of kills or whatnot. So far from the couple of hours I've played, I can tell you that I'm very interested in this game, as it has a very nice setting, it's just very appealing to me, and it seems to have a decent following so far. It's only been around on Steam for a month, and yet it seems to have quite a few players. When I played earlier, there were almost 400 people playing at the moment, so it was pretty promising. But let's go ahead and jump into those 10 or so things I was telling you about to get you started and get you off on the right track. Alright, so number one on our list here, to begin with, you're going to need to look in your bags as soon as you basically start your character, and you're going to find a box in there, and you're going to open this up, and it's going to give you the necessary mats to create the axe. It's kind of going to show you how the crafting system works. You're basically clicking on the little crafting icon down there, the hammer, and it's going to come up, and you have a drop down box at the top, and you're going to select, you're going to select the appropriate, thing to craft with. There's weaponsmithing and armor making and all that. So you're going to go through and you're going to actually make your axe. I believe there may be an extra axe that's already in your bag, but you may want to do that just to try it out and see what it's like. And just so you get familiar with the crafting system early on. But when you get this axe, this is where you're going to be able to go out and leave the town, and you're going to start collecting wood. And you're going to also be collecting other things that you come across. Even though you've only got the axe for now, you're still going to be able to go out there and try to do some of that. You may come across some kind of metal or something you can mine. Keep in mind that since you're not using a pickaxe yet because you can't afford it, that the axe is going to be really slow at gathering things that are not wood. So also in your bag you should already come equipped with a knife and a shield and a basic bow, and there's also a light. So make sure you actually drag all these over to your quick bar there, and that way there you can use these on the go as you're out and about. Alright, so number two on our list is when you get a little bit more money after you've gone out a little bit, and you come back to the town where you started out at. So for me, I started out as an Ismer, which is basically like the Viking people. And in that town, literally in the area you start in, it's kind of a rounded area, and there's a vendor there. And go to that vendor, and that's where I was able to find the pickaxe and other tools that you might need, such as the harvesting tool for gathering some of the plants and stuff you're going to need. So go to that vendor and go ahead and buy those tools early on, so that way there you're not having to use just your single tool out there and it's taking forever. And so yeah. Alright, so number three here. Speaking of items, let's talk about splitting stacks. This game is just like other MMOs. If you're used to holding control on your left mouse button, that's exactly what you're doing here. It's going to allow you to split stacks from your inventory. It's also going to allow you to buy or sell entire stacks instead of just sitting there clicking, 1 to 100 or whatever. So it's a very good tip, and that would be number 3. All right, so number 4 is how are you going to make money in this game? Later on, your long game is going to be that you're going to be crafting. That's how you're going to make money in this game. But as a noob here, you're going to start off collecting resources. So don't take that wood and some of the other items that you're getting and just go trash them. You're going to need to sell those to players. And if you look, anytime when you're in the game, if you look down at the chat window, you are going to see people, tons of people just sitting there willing to trade, willing to sell stuff, looking for all kinds of things, even wood. You may think wood is such a basic item, I won't sell this, but you will. I heard a player say that they made like a gold within, like a day or so. So there's definitely a market for that, and that's going to be how you make money here. Okay, so number 5 here. This game is an MMO, so you're going to gain levels, and you're going to be able to level your character up, and as you do, you get skill points, and you can throw, from now, you can throw those skill points into your various stats. It's going to depend on your play style, basically, and what kind of weapons you're using too. So to gain levels, you are simply going to go around and kill animals that you see out and about, or there's some robbers as well that you may encounter. As a low level, you really need to kind of play to your strengths. So for me personally, I love using a bow. So I was out there with my bow. I would find stragglers all by themselves, and I would shoot them. The first shot that you shoot at them, it draws their ire, and they come after you. Now, it'd probably take 2 more shots to kill them. Try to aim for the face, because that seems to matter. There's actually there was an achievement, a Steam achievement that I hit for hitting someone in the face. It's kind of bullseye thing or whatnot. But you don't want to take on more than one person if if you can help it. If you see 3, you need to run. But if you're doing ranged and you happen to shoot one and the second one comes to you, try to burn that first guy down and then just sit there and face tank the other guy, shoot him in the face until he drops to you. You should be able to easily get 3 shots off before even losing half your life. So you should be good there, but just keep that in mind. I'm hearing that a good way to get XP though is through tournaments. So if you look at the top of your screen up there, there's a little timer up there. And that's letting you know when the next tournament's going to be. I think there's I don't know how often these things pop, maybe once or twice a day maybe. I don't know if that's a game day or a real day. I'm thinking it's a real day, but there's these little tournaments, and anybody's, any level can join, it looks like. And you basically go there, and I think there's a bunch of people there, and you're all kind of fighting in a tournament, like a time tournament type thing. And from even a low level can do things, and I'm hearing that low levels should be ranged. Don't go in there trying to sword fight if you're going to join one of these tournaments. So for you to be able to really get anything accomplished, you're going to want to stay back in the crowd and shoot and try to get kills that way. So yeah, that's one of the ways you can level up. Alright, so number 6. Keep in mind, this game is all about PvP. And although I haven't really partaken in the PvP myself just yet, I've heard that the XP isn't really great for PvP, but the PvP is the core of the game, and I'm hearing it's a lot of fun. Of course, it's only going to get better because they've really built the foundation for this to be a PvP game. So there's going to be more races. I'm assuming that, I don't know if they're going to be teamed up or how that's going to work yet, but one of the big things that's going to be coming is the ability to build your own bases and castles, and I'm pretty sure Siege is going to work into that as well. So definitely keep in mind that this is a PvP game, and that's why you're here. Alright, so number 7. When you're starting out, you may be asking yourself, which armor should you use? For what I understand, light armor is best for bow users. It's going to allow you to sprint for longer amount of time and maintain damage longer, and it's very noob friendly. I'm also hearing that you can mix and match your armor, so some people are just basically wearing whatever they can find or get from drops or whatnot. I will tell you that heavy armor will drain your stamina really fast. And on your when you're first creating your character, there is a little bit of an explanation of the 3 different armor types and how it'll drain and affect you. You may not realize how important stamina is until you actually get into the game and you start running around holding that shift key, and you'll see the little yellow bar down at the bottom, and you'll see how fast that stamina can drop. And you can also level points in the stamina, so if that's something important to you, And depending on your fight style and what you're doing, then there you go, you'll be able to level that up. Alright, so number 8. In the beginning levels, you're going to want to stay close to your starter town to remain within your own level range of enemies, basically. There's going to be plenty for you to do just hanging around there. You're going to get plenty of wood. You're going to find some other things like your beehive honey or wax or whatever. You're going to find, like I said, lots of wood. There's even a few other minerals, like I found salt out and about while I was running around. So you're going to find some stuff, and that's going to be where you're going to start making your money at. Keep in mind that the further south you go, it's going to basically put you in touch with level 20 plus mobs out there. And if you go north, you're going to be in the company of level 40s and higher, so you definitely want to stay away from those areas. Another point to make about where you're going to be staying at, depending on which side you started on, whether you're the Ismers or the Midlanders. The Ismers, they start, if you look at the map, they're actually on the east side, and you can see the big town there on the map. On the west side, directly almost across from that, that'll be your Midlanders way over there. And so basically anything in between that is going to be like Fight Central. You've also got the little flags here, and these little flags are the control points. So as you're out there fighting and helping out, you guys, you're basically flipping sides and taking areas. So those are areas you might want to avoid until you're ready to really jump in there and you feel like you've got something. I'm not really sure how the looting works, but I do know that your bodies can be looted for some kind of limited time. So just keep that in mind when you go out and about. Alright, so number 9 here is, we'll talk a little bit about the stamina. I mentioned it a couple of steps back, but basically that little yellow bar down there at the bottom, you can use stamina when running, like holding shift while you run. You can also use it for blocking, and blocking is very important in this game. You're not really tab targeting, you're basically just swinging and you're aiming. So when you block, you're kind of doing the same thing. So blocking is important, but you need to remember that it's also draining your stamina. So you don't just want to hold the block. You kind of want to, I think, time your blocks. I haven't really got into much combat yet, but that's what it's looked like so far. And I do know that depending on the weapons or whatnot, that stamina can drain faster as well. So that's going to be another thing you're going to want to watch out for. I haven't really got into too in depth with the combat, and so I don't know what people are recommending just yet, but if you have something you want to recommend, definitely throw it down there in the bottom of the comments there. Number 10. Alright, so let's talk repairing. So in this game, you really need to watch the durability and repair as often as you can, and don't wait until it breaks to go back and repair it. The reason is because durability loss is a permanent thing in this game. Alright, so let's say you have a weapon and your durability is 10. And you go out and you use it and you knock the durability down to 6, and then you decide to go ahead and go repair it. So when you repair it, you instead of it going back up to 10, it only goes back up to 8, because you actually lose half of whatever it took. So you lost 4 points of durability. You actually you only get 2 back from repairing it. So had you done it at 8 or 9, when you still had 8 or 9 durability on it, you would have lost like 1 or barely 1. So what this does, and the reason they're doing this, I believe, is for to make crafting something that's worthwhile. If people are out using weapons, no matter how often they repair, you're eventually going to lose your weapon. It's going to lose its stats and durability, because it's going to get down so low to where it's worthless. So this means that you're going to have to buy another weapon later on, and therefore you'll always need crafters, and crafters should be happy. Alright, and I have a little bonus one here, number 11. It's just to basically talk about guilds. And it's pretty easy, just like in most games, you're going to get out there and give a shout out, hey, I'm looking for a guild, see who's recruiting. Guilds are basically just serving as a way to communicate, though, at the moment, and I mean, it's a way to group up as well. But it's, it is important to try and be on the same server as your guild, because with this game, you can still communicate because the chat is linked to all the servers. So not only do you want to, ask if they're on the server, and you're asking for a guild, but that's how you want to do it. So just make sure that you are on the same server whenever you join a guild. So that's it for this quick guide. This game seems to have a lot of potential, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting in and playing it some more. A special thanks to the Half-Assed Noob Guide posted by Child of the Corn on Reddit. I found their guide to be a great jumping off point, and I used it to get started in the game as well as use some of the references here in this video. Thank you very much, guys, and take care.